Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Mr. JP. Today we're playing some Out of Ore. Going to start with the new game, as it's the new update. I'm so excited, by the way. So it's the Coal Blanc. We're going to play it in default mode. Just go with that. It's early on a Sunday morning, by the way, everybody, so you'll have to excuse me a little. I am just waking up. And my fingers are not typing properly. Okay, so yeah. The default mode of the game is the career mode. We now have XP trees, we now have bigger equipment, the tunnelling gear's been reworked. I have been absent, and I apologise for my absence, everybody. I have been working with a group and testing the dev version, so what you're playing is partially the fruit of about 300 to 400 hours of me doing the same thing over and over again, like crashing into trees. So yeah, welcome to the Coal Blanc. And so there's a coal plant, there's a grill work. This will be familiar to anybody who has played the older style of the game. First difference is you've got a tiering system now. We are labourer tier 1, we've got 100 grand. Down at the bottom you now have a taskbar with 6 options. They are numbered 1 to 6 on your keyboard. The button to the left of 1, not sure what it is, but that moves the highlighted one to the left, and number 7 moves it to the right. And as you can see, you've got demolish, detonate explosives, the manual digging and working tools, and a torch, which is kind of handy. So by pressing Q you open your inventory, and in here is everything: your map, your store, your bank, stats, you name it. So the first thing, I'm going to go to the store, and as you can see, things are now locked. You need to level up to unlock them, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to have some of these, and I'm going to have some of these, and some of these, and some of those as well, just to start me off on. And I'm also going to grab straight away, because I'm going to need them, one of those, one of those. Right, because yeah, it's turn left, that's the one I need. 2 of them. 2 of them. Okay, I'll grab a loan in a minute and get a machine and stuff, but for the moment we're going to act like the NHS, because first thing that happens if you go into a hospital and it's an emergency, they will stick a line in. And this is exactly what we're going to do. So quickly line up the bottom of the block here. You want to get it sort of parallel with that. And then by moving forward, you can see there's a post at the other end there at the back of the block. Line it up there, walk backwards, not quite in line. And this is a little bit fiddly, however, it's well worth it. And you'll see why in just a sec. So once you've got roughly lined up and square, position that block between these 2 sticky outy lugs. You can just see one there in front of it, like that. You want to be relatively square here, because this is going to set. Yeah, that one's pretty good. I'll go with it. So to construct things, it's nodal. Each face has several sections. There's a centre one that allows you to put one on the side directly like that, or there's an edge area that allows you to put on the top or the bottom, or depending on the angle, either side. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, pollen count's a little high today. Sorry for all the coughing. But yeah, so what we're going to do here is, as I say, get a line into this with a conveyor. And the whole point of this is, I'm going to be honest, dumper trucks are slow. They're cool, but they're slow. So, yeah. So that's what this is about, really. And later on, having this becomes sort of it depends how you want to play the game. So yeah, but whilst I'm doing this, a big thank you to the dev Christian for building this game, because it is awesome in my opinion. Big thank you to the other programmers and devs who have been involved in helping him out when we've hit various things. And big thanks to all the guys in the Skunk Works. You know who you are, because they're the other guys. And we've all been working really hard to nail different bits and faults in the game. And I think we've done quite well. I'm quite liking the look and the feel. We've got new dynamic weather, which is just kicking in now. So things get darker and lighter. And if you go up here, we've got a mini-map. Yes, this SOS shows your rescue location. You can set that, or you can rescue back to it. You can set the weather to whatever you like. I'm going to go sunny because I like it. I'm going to go day length 1 because I like daytime. And I'm going to reset it to the morning, so we can have a nice little sunrise going on here. As I say, there's some beautiful effects here. If you are role playing and simming, the nighttime and lighting effects are brilliant. They really are. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So what I've just done there is attach a hopper to a block, and I'll demonstrate it again because I should really go over this. The hoppers are interesting. They attach to the closed end, so the output end sticks away from the block that you look at the face, or you can attach them on the top like that. So, but the thing to remember about the model for the hopper is the thin way is the way to look at the front of it, and the front is the end that we can't see here. We're looking at the back, and it outputs out the front. So if you put it on a block like that, it's pointing that way. But if I put it on one of these blocks here, you see there, it goes that way. And the output end will always be to the left or to the right, because you are placing the closed end. And that's all you have to remember there about those, really. That's the hard bit, really, when placing the hoppers. The other thing to remember is that the entire system of conveyors is a tree, okay? And that means that things have to be built from one end to the other for them to join up. So this is a output chute there, and every conveyor I want to output to that chute has to connect to it. So clunk. And at the start of the game you just want to turn around this corner here and go back the other way with conveyors. But to do that, it's going to require more money than we've got. We also need a machine, so let's get onto that. Let's hit the bank, borrow a mill, head to the store, vehicle. I'm personally a loader guy. It's the quickest way to get a lot of stuff in quick. So production gear, we're going to need some conveyor straight. Probably 20 of them. Gonna need a sorter. Gonna need a couple of ups. Go with that for the moment. Can always get stuff later, but now that I've got a loan, you'll hear a little money noise occasionally. That's money going out your account. We've got interest to worry about now. So there's a little bit of a race to beat the bank these days, which is nice. You can play creative and you can get to all the cool stuff like a bit earlier. But if you're planning on moving large amounts of muck and having a creative mind that's huge, you may as well do it in this mode. I'm going to be honest. That's my opinion on it. Alright, so here I've screwed up a little. It doesn't matter. But I want a collection type hopper just there, and it's going to conflict with the ground. And so I'm going to have to do some manual digging, which it's a tough call, but for little jobs like this at the start of the game, I prefer to use an excavator or a loader for this kind of thing, but it's only pay dirt, why worry about it? So yeah, I mean, this game is now progressing. We've got a much more stable game than it used to be, and it's good. I like it. As I say, digging's far superior to how it used to be. I need more of them. So yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm sort of lining out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This may look a bit crazy, but I'm thinking ahead. Okay. Now this is also going to look a little crazy. Bear with me on this one is I think the best way of putting it. Because I've only built like this machine once like this, but conveyor down, conveyor up. That isn't needed there. Right. Remembered how I did it last time. Yeah, that's how it is. Right. So now, yeah, there will do. Okay, after that little marathon of building, and one of the reasons I do videos like this rather than streaming is so that you guys can flick through them, move through them, and do what you need to do to save time. And I've been trying to work out how to do the streaming thing. I'll get there eventually. But yeah, what I'm doing here is just setting up an early hopper and sorter system. So I think dig dump. I've gone too far. Need to go one back to there. Ah, wreckage. So yeah, the game hasn't really changed that much, but there are some new larger machines later on in the tier system, which is kind of cool. Yeah, okay, we like it there. Need another conveyor up. Hate that clicking noise of money. Means I'm losing money. Something. Always buy a fuel station early. You want that in your inventory later on. There was a point in the dev build where we had some fun. We couldn't refuel. That's a challenge. No refuel. Yeah. It's not a challenge mode I want to see come back. It was annoying. But a lot of fun. Yeah, it's the reason we were doing the testing, is to save you guys that kind of frustration. So this is the most basic machine you can build. So you've got a hopper, you've got a conveyor, you've got a sorter, and then you've got a conveyor into the grill work. You can do this with the dumper truck, It doesn't really matter how you do it. It's just got to be done. You have to get stuff into there. Just going to build a couple of little temporary hopper type affairs. To rotate the blocks around like you're seeing me do, just hold down the right mouse and move it left and right, and it'll allow it to rotate. So there I've just built for that. I could use chutes, but... And I'm going to do the same thing here, if I can. It's going to be a bit more challenging. Need that at the moment, need that one back. So yeah, you can just look at the end of a wall panel and actually rotate it around through all the directions horizontally like that as well now, which is kind of nice. It's a nice little touch, I like it. A lot of people have got a bit of a gripe with the way that the construction system works, but I found that once you get used to it and you work out where you want your shortcut keys and everything, you can build really quickly. So yeah, I guess it's a matter of familiarity. Just neaten that up. There we go. Just checking I haven't missed anything before we go crazy. Okay. We don't want to end up down the side of that hole. Falling in holes can be annoying. I mean, it's part of the game, but can be a little frustrating when you're trying to do stuff. And I'm just putting these in to sort of seal around the edge of the hopper. Hopefully stop any voxels from forming through it. It's a forlorn hope, by the way. I'm an old enough player to know better, but worth a try. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm just building up a hopper like this. Need more wall bits. I know I bought some. There they are. A few floor panels. Now attached like that. Okay. Still leave that annoying lip, but I can handle that. And it's worth having a few along the sides just to catch any overspill. Also means you can put in a back wall if you want like this quite easy. Don't like the way round it's gone in on that floor panel, but it'll do for the moment. It's not like I'm going to use it that much. Okay, so that's sort of the tougher bit done. Save games, click on the save, click save as selected save. If you want to backup save, you start another game under a new name and then overwrite it from this game, if that makes sense. I'll demonstrate that later. But if I had another save, I could save it onto it there. There's a create game button there, so after doing a save you might be able to create another one. Okay, dig in. Aim of the game, we're here, 20 minutes in, we've got a machine built. Basic machine order, yeah, that's it. Just the sorter is all you need. So, spawn in a loader. Hello loader. So yeah, machine wise, page up, page down is the default setting. I think I'm using pretty much default settings on everything on the keyboard except on the excavators where I might have set it up differently at some point, but we'll see. Click the mouse, move the boom up and down. Left and right is the bucket curl, I believe is the correct term now. See, I've learnt stuff. I've learnt stuff whilst I've been away, everybody. Thank you for putting up with my silence, by the way, but during the testing phase I wasn't getting much gaming done and I didn't really have a lot to say. So we're going to dig in here and we're going to get straight into this lithium. Don't really want to run too much pay dirt at the moment since we've got no way of processing it. Great way to start and miss. And one thing I am going to do is go back to the bank and just deposit 300,000 that I have got. As you can see, that drum over there is spinning away in the background. You can see the little rocks pouring out of the two little ends just about. I'll go over there and have a look once I've loaded up the machine a bit more. That way it'll still be running when I get over there. But yeah, start the game, get into this lithium seam on the coal map, or there's a coal seam over there. I personally prefer leaving the flat ground in front of the coal plant alone. If you don't mind the look, go into the ground there, there's a lovely coal seam. And you've got this lithium seam in the middle that sort of goes all the way back that way as well. So there's a fair amount of stuff just up here next to the plant, but we aren't hanging around up here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. Oh no. Not with the new developments in the game. And gonna be honest, if you want to get up the tier system fast, you need to go industrial. You've got to be prepared to go industrial. So in the backdrop behind us on the side of the hill where I'm looking at the moment, that side will be my decorative side, and up here I'm going to have the sort of role play part of the mine. So that's going to be used for demonstrating different machines, different mining methods, that kind of thing. My industrial mine using loaders is going to be down on this side of the hill in the valley, because there is pretty much coal seam after coal seam after coal seam down there. It's a lovely spot. So that lets you know two sort of areas to go to. That side's decorative, that side's industrial. So just get a little scoop more of this in. Couple more of these and I should have enough for the first sort of upgrade that you get to do, which is a piece of equipment that we used to have from the start, but then so were 510s. No 500 loaders anymore. Got to start with the small stuff, and I kind of like it, I'm gonna be honest. I do like the small loaders and stuff, but the volume they shift for the amount of game time I put in just isn't good enough for me, you know. I want level 10. Level 10 is where the 500 comes in. That's the first big objective in my game at the moment, getting up to level 10. We're there. Okay. Park up that vehicle for a sec. Cool. Drum's finished running. Excellent. Wait for that to finish kicking out, and then it goes all the way over there and it drops straight down into this hopper. This is the idea of the whole deal. Cash in the box. Okay, so the crazy reason I built this the way I did is so I can go clunk, 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 and delete it. Yeah. I'm a bit bonkers, but we don't need the conveyor down anymore because we have unlocked the wash plant. So the wash plant goes in on the bottom of the sorting drum. Put the straight that I deleted back in there. And stick the riser back in there. So now we can process pay dirt through this wash plant unit into rich stuff. We like rich stuff. It's alright, just debating something else, but I can wait a bit longer. Not there yet. So yeah, turn this round, get this loading. So now it's going through the wash plant, we'll start to harvest the gold and other resources that are available in the pay dirt. So that makes running pay dirt worthwhile, which is kind of handy. Because it ups the efficiency of your mining, all your gaming effort is multiplied by the wash plant. There was some interesting conversations about that. That was good fun. I enjoyed myself there. So yeah. So as you can see, the XP bar and my cash are going up a lot quicker than they were without the wash plant. Also going up a bit quicker because I'm getting a better mix of the lithium and that kind of thing in. So this is the first phase of the game, and it's taking a small machine in and getting through and upgrading the production plant. Now, going to be honest, there are those of you out there who are used to the idea of going deep fast. In creative mode, that's fine, you can still do it, no worries. In the XP mode, you have got to be prepared for a little bit of work. Now, this game is turning into a gamer's game. It's not casual. It really isn't casual, as we're going to find out in this series of videos. Thank you for sticking with me through the break, by the way, fans, subscribers, and older viewers. Appreciate your efforts. And anyone who hasn't, please hit the subscribe button, it's free. And there's a few other guys doing Out of Ore videos in different ways. I tend to not do editing, but I think as this gameplay series goes on, I may film some of the digging sections and speed them up and try and cut it together. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think of the new game as well, because I can pass it all up the path to the devs via different means after filtering your views, as it were, for them. Because, gotta be honest, poor guy, he's been working his head off doing this game, and he's been replying to everybody's messages and taking everybody's opinions into account. And I think filtering everything through a set of secretaries, as it were, kind of helps. He's a busy guy. I need to be busier, I need to sort my life out, I really do. But yeah, so decorative wise, roleplay wise, I'm looking forward to getting into the more roleplay aspects of the game, because where I've been the last 300-400 hours has been just pretty much nearly daily restarts as we started to check and test the game over. So realistically, I haven't got much decorative gaming done. So this time around I'm going to be putting roofs on things, going to be messing around, probably film it all, I don't know, see how that goes, but yeah. But yeah, this is the main juice of the game is digging like this. I'm going to be honest, you'll spend a lot of time doing this until you go industrial. Going industrial can be entertaining. I could do a small amount of it up here to pick up the pace, but yeah, we'll leave it for later. Now I'm not sure what colour's in the pay dirt, because pay dirt is what we're digging into here at the moment. Up above you can see normal dirt in that line. There isn't any visible around here, but there is a layer below the pay dirt that is stone, and there is stoneworking production equipment that has to go into one of these systems. I'll be building one of those later on, but for the moment this is all you need. Like, really. No need to go crazy and complicated up here at the moment. If you want to beat the loan, this is how. Just get into the hill, get some cash together. You want about $500,000 after you've paid the loan off, and then you can start thinking about other machinery or moving location and getting some bigger conveyors in, that kind of thing. Or playing with dump trucks. They're about that, I think, for the biggest one. Don't even know what the prices are on the dump trucks. It's been so long since I played with them, I need to get them out. Ah, the autosave function. Guess I've been gaming for half an hour already. It's the thing I like about this game, you just don't notice the time going by, which is kind of handy for me at the moment, since all I can do at the moment is to sit around and wait. Gotta love life, huh? Like they say in the military, hurry up and wait. Now digging. Digging's an interesting one at the moment in this game, because it requires a little bit of finesse. I've heard the excavators can be a little bit finicky from some of the other testers. I'm going to be honest, I really only use the excavators for trenching out conveyor runs and stuff, so I haven't got a lot of experience with them. But with the loaders, you want the blade sort of level, gently crawl in, and you can just wiggle the blade up and down slightly and generate massive amounts of voxel balls and pile them up like that. Gently reverse out, give it a bit of a wiggle to shake off any loose stuff, and then the bucket lock kicks in, and most of it will stay there. You get about 5 or 6 like that just there, fall off. But the lumpiness that used to be a problem in the game isn't so bad. The blades are controllable enough now that you can actually do smoothing, which is kind of cool. Trick to smoothing is to start off with the vehicle without any lumps under the wheels, by the way, and then you can just drive along and skim very gently the surface, and it just smooths it out, takes the tops of all the little peaks. Okie dokie. Yeah, it didn't take long to get through that little chunk. Sorry for going a bit quiet there. Quietly getting into the dig and thinking about what I was doing. That's the difference between this game and other games I play. It's just not as frenetic, a bit more calming. I play a couple of other sort of constructive mining games. One's based in space, and that can be a bit brain bending. Another one involves trains, which requires a different level of thinking. This is very calming, very therapeutic. I do enjoy it. Definitely a break from the ways of the world currently, geez. The modern world leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to allowing you peace of mind and spiritual well-being. They don't like you sitting in contemplation these days, do they? Like, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta get your new phone, gotta do this, gotta do that. Ugh. I do like just sitting and quietly digging. It's so much better. So much better. As for the crazy zombie game I play, well, I've got to the busy bit of that game and I just cannot get the motivation to do the busy bit. Like, the whole point's shooting zombies. I'm at the shooting zombies and I can't be bothered. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Motivation levels of a brick. Still, at least my sense of humour is not flat than Stockton Rush. Moving swiftly on, because I couldn't believe that. As an electronics engineer, there were certain parts of certain bits of that I wasn't happy with. For me to not be happy with it is bad, by the way. I have on more than one occasion in a public setting with a piece of equipment used by the public gone, yeah, wrap it in gaffer tape. So, yeah, we've been there. You have to understand that in the field things happen, but to be honest, the fairground inspector inspected it. He said it was fine. So, who's worse? Bit like with this production machinery, you can do this very differently, by the way. I could have a really small hopper machine over here and pile up the stuff it creates next to it and then just run it with the loader over to the grill work. Could load it into a dump truck. There's a few different ways of doing things and I will be demonstrating them. Oof, crikey, 39 minutes already. I'm limited to an hour's filming by the software I'm using. There is a way to change it in the settings somewhere, but I haven't found them. And every time I try it, I screwed it up. So we're limited to hour cuts. But I think an hour is more than long enough for a video involving me talking to myself, like really. But the models for the game are getting really good. The later machines are spectacularly big compared to the ones we've been using for what? How long's the game been going? 6 months now? 8 months? Something like that. Yeah. It was October last year, so yeah, 8 to 10 months, something like that. And we're starting to see some machine variety. We've got tunneling now, and this update's about the big machines, the economy, the tiering system. Everything is here. This now has it's the bare bones of a proper game finally. It's not just a sandbox sim with nothing really in it. We're getting to the point of getting some game structure, which is good. We like that Colgate flavour, even if because of the vegetable intolerance I have, I shouldn't really do mint. I still do toothpaste. Sometimes not a good idea. It makes me a bit grumpy. Toothpaste combined with someone's perfume when I go out can turn me from normal nice me like I am today to an evil nasty thing. So yeah, it's weird. If you're having weird mood swings and stuff, try cutting a chemical group called salicylates out of your life for a couple of weeks. Could be interesting, trust me. To give you an idea of the situation, I got maybe 3 minutes of breathing perfume when I was down at the doctor's the other day and turned into an evil psychotic nightmare for about 24 hours, which was interesting. It's quite fun being Hannibal Lecter for 24 hours. It's kind of weird too, because you just sort of sat there and you're watching it happen like you're drunk in your own head. It's weird. But you can't stop it, and it's kind of funny because that version of me has no problem telling someone they're being an idiot or pointing out the obvious when no one likes it. And it's just funny to watch social hand grenades just being dumped into the situation every few seconds. It doesn't make me popular, so I tend to stay in a lot. Sometimes these things have to be said though, like, you know. It's mainly the first world problems I tend to do it with. Like, yeah. I'm not good with relationship issues. I tend to say it like it is. They don't like that. You know, I have certain issues with this game that need sorting out. I need to put together a list of things and mention them to the dev, but I'll get round to it. Currently, it's been more about game functionality than fine-tuning, and these are definitely fine-tuning things, so we'll get to them. We'll get to them. Just keep on dumping. Keep on digging, keep on dumping. Now, the XP system works by only certain things going through the grill work getting you XP. I think you can get XP by selling through the storage boxes now, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll find out in a minute. Pay back some of the loan, JP. Get that interest rate off your back. So the reason for keeping the interest rate down on the bank loan and getting it all repaid quick is once you head into the pay dirt, you are earning a lot less per second. So with the interest calculated per minute, it gets expensive fast on the £1 million loan, you know? The other thing is, don't worry too much about spillage and deleting dirt. Look how much there is here. There is no shortage of material in this map. And as far as I'm aware, it keeps going down and the seams are still sort of vertical, though there's a bit more variety in how they roll around and where they are. Which means that going down in one spot is still the way forward. Which is why we're not hanging around up here on the top of a mountain. Digging at this pinker material. Now you saw with the sin just in that bucket full there was like a pause and pop at the start of it, and that means that the cliff in front is getting a bit high for the loader. They really are skimming on a low pile machine. They don't do digging into cliffs unless you're very clever about it. But you can sort of take the edge off, collapse it down and then start skimming in. So you can get some nice clean edges with the loader. You can tidy up quite nicely. It's the terrain manipulation tool of choice for me. I used to really like the bulldozer for mining, but since things have changed, now I'm dedicated to the loaders now, especially with what's gone on with bigger machines. Loaders just seem to have the edge over everything else because of the maneuverability they carry, their ability to carve out new sections. They're pretty cool. These toothed buckets aren't necessarily the best with the curved front edge, but they do have their advantages. The smooth buckets are a little smaller and don't contain as much, so they have their advantages too, in the fact they leave a very clean cut on a wall, and they are lovely for loading dumper trucks. So just depends what you're doing with them, really. I think that's about the only difference. They do cut a little differently in different materials, but whether that's how I'm using them or an actual attribute of the bucket shape and toothed or straight edge, that is another question. I didn't even notice it come up. I'm getting low on fuel, so I'll have to build the fuel plant and demonstrate refueling in a sec. Coming up onto the end of the video, so probably do that sooner rather than later. Now, laying down the fuel tanks can be a little awkward for positioning purposes, like if you want it in a certain place, you have to find out which block you've got to lay it on, sort of thing, to get the effect you're looking for. But that's the same with a few of the components. You get used to it, you'll learn your numbers, you'll start learning how to lay things out. I've made mistakes with hoppers a few times. I've made mistakes with conveyors, not linking them together properly. You'll have piles of rich stuff and mud lying around in your first experiments. Don't worry about it, just move it out with the hand tools, it's cool. Okay, so yeah, fuel tank. So go into the inventory, drag it down, select the fuel tank, and so this is what I mean, but that's kind of where I want it, so that's cool. Now when I press Q, vehicle options, refuel from fuel station, just click it, and it will go, refueling. And that's how simple refueling is. It hasn't always been so easy, but now it's easy, like really easy. So yeah, I mean, you can play this early part of the game a little differently by just hunting the rich stuff and going into the tops of all the different seams with like loader and dumper truck or something, running it into somewhere and just processing it and dropping it into the hopper either by dumper truck or loader or conveyor. There's a few ways of playing this opening. You don't have to play it this way. It may seem a little long to you guys, but the benefit of processing a lot of this pay dirt up here whilst you're doing it is that there is a bit of spread to the seams, and I'm not just digging into a hill for no reason. You can't really see it because of the shadowing, but there is actually a lithium deposit in that cliff, which is why I'm going that way. And everything you get into the hopper is XP, so it's all worth going in there. I'm just opening out this area so it's easier to drive in and out when I'm cutting the next bit. Or I could extend the conveyor line so that it's closer, which might get done as well. and may get done just as a demonstration with an excavator. Show everyone just how bad I still am after 400 hours of testing with the excavator. I've barely used them. Like, how bad is that? But some of the other testers are really hot on their excavators, so difficult to know what to add to that conversation from my end, gonna be honest. I'm a very experienced gamer, and I've never used these things in a mine, so you know, used little mini diggers, I've used little dumper trucks, I've used slightly larger equipment, you know, on one-offs just for experience, road building mainly, and I've used a lot of classic equipment like steam-powered rollers and that kind of thing. But yeah, for actual hydraulic powered, this is huge. Let's dump 8 tons of stuff at a time. Yeah, haven't had a go in one of these. I need to. I'll see if I can arrange that. I live near a JCB factory. So yeah, as you can see, as I'm slightly cutting my way back here, the tone of the pay dirt changes as you move through it. It's very much more texturalized now into different areas with different resources in it. And so we can do see the top one handles the rockier, more valuable materials that way, and powders go out the bottom. Goes through that wash plant. You can see you got a nice little animation of water there, and this is pumping out a mix of dirt and other materials. It's mainly dirt, which is then passed through. I just saw some gold go through there, so there is gold going through. Yeah, and a bit later on when you start processing large amounts and backing up the machines, you can sit and watch that for hours. Literally. Right, when you're a distance from your machine and you don't want to run back, just press Q, go to the map, and you can actually just select drive or send to garage from here. You don't have to be near the machine. So you just click drive, you're back in it like that. When you have multiple machines on the map, you can also press tab and just jump between them, which is kind of nice, and a familiar feature for those who have played other machine sim games. Common agricultural game that a lot of people know uses that method, and there's a few other games as well. So and yeah, so for the next little while until level 10, it's pretty much just about keep filling this hopper with whatever you can get your hands on. Unless you want to rebuild or go down a level, or you know, I personally prefer going into this hill. There's a lot of lithium in that pile back there. What I will probably do is get the compactor in, smooth this area out so it's a bit easier to work on. But I'm more interested in getting rid of the loan at the moment. So. So yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody. Sorry I've been a bit sort of dazed and confused. It's a bit early on a Sunday morning. I'll probably liven up a bit more later on. I'm just going to carry on and keep digging, keep paying off loan. I think I need a break and a morning coffee. I think that's the first thing that needs doing. But yeah, so thanks everyone for joining me. Feel free to like or subscribe, like they all say. If you've stuck with me through all the long break, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to follow this career build. I've spent too long testing, so we're going to be getting big, we're going to be getting decorative, we're going to be getting all kinds of roleplay, getting some new machinery out, having a play. It's going to be fun. There's going to be lots of stuff to do. So plenty of gameplay hours. Poor old YouTube servers are going to take a hammering. So yeah, everyone have a great Sunday. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the new version, as it were. I'm very impressed. I like it a lot. Partially my hard work, I suppose, in the fact that I hammered and tested it. So hopefully there's 2 or 3 less bugs that would have been there otherwise without me. So that's my little bit for you. My little donation to the happiness of your lives and the peace of your OCD. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves, and yeah, enjoy some Out of Ore. It's great. If you haven't got it, get it already. It's you know, you can test it as well. Race me. See how you get on. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.